Today, we're gonna do a little investigation. This is the last part of our series of the PowerPoint presentation by Preston T. Bailey, the doctor. Dr. Bailey is the one that supposedly put this PowerPoint presentation about the reality of psychotronic weapons. He is the one that mentioned targeted individuals, and he's the one that put the logo of NASA when talking about chemtrails and laser weapons. And most shockingly, robotic soldiers with the fucking screenshot of Terminator. So obviously, either this Dr. Bailey is a fabrication or Dr. Bailey is actually. However, someone else put the PowerPoint presentation with his name on it in order to give some credibility to the PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going right now on Google and I'm looking for his name, Preston T. Bailey. So Preston T. Bailey. So the picture that is on the cover of the PowerPoint presentation is the same picture that is on his website. So I found it. And the name of the website is spiritualwarfarecenter.com. So now we are visiting his homepage, and this is what we get. It says he has a book for sale, and the book is on spiritual warfare. It says the following: Spiritual Warfare, Defeating the Forces of Darkness. Defeating the Forces of Darkness is a theological and practical book on overcoming the attacks of the devil. Christians need to use the many spiritual resources that Christ has provided for us to defeat the attacks of the wicked one. Dr. Bailey describes the 9 different types of attacks by demons, along with how to respond to each type of attack in order to have victory. He also describes Satan's organizational structure of demons and how they scheme to attack people. Dr. Bailey also has counseled thousands of demonized people, hundreds of people who were ritually abused, and led many Satanists, witches, warlocks, and these involved in the occult to Christ. He has trained thousands of Christian counselors in Europe, Canada, and throughout the United States, the ruined states. and throughout the United States, God has given him many unique experiences that he has shared in his book, which will enrich your life and reveal startling truths about spiritual warfare and how to have victory over the attacks of Satan. So this already caught my eye. Why? Because his official website talks about spiritual attacks, and the PowerPoint presentation is literally attributing the spiritual attacks to technology. So this is really fucking fascinating because this stands for spiritual warfare. What is demonic aggression? Is narcissistic abuse. But notice that all the fake information is based on the powers of man. And now we're gonna go on the next tab, which says doorways. And this is what it says: doorways for demons. Demons do not usually just attack anyone without reason. The person opens a spiritual doorway through many different ways. Some of them are practicing white or black magic, sexual immoral behavior, drugs, sins of ancestors, a passive mind such as hypnosis, fortune telling, spiritism, or communicating with demons, association with demonized people, fears, possessing a cursed object, someone placing a curse on you, worshipping idols, new age or false religion practices, rebellion, any work of the flesh such as uncontrolled anger, criminal behavior, abusing children. This is just a sample of doorways that people open that allows demons to attack them. The sinful behavior needs to be renounced and corrected, and a righteous behavior needs to be put in place of the wrong behavior. So this stands true. Notice that the PowerPoint presentation only gives problems. And this Dr. Bailey on his homepage is literally giving us a solution. That's fucking insane to me. So literally what we have here is the real Dr. Bailey. Now on the next tab of Dr. Bailey's website says the following: the world, the flesh, and the devil. One thing that is hard for most Christians to understand is our three enemies. Enemy number one, the world refers to philosophies, beliefs, or world systems that do not include Christ or the Bible. Most governments make rules or laws in reaction to a problem, but this is not always beneficial. How many times have you been frustrated in dealing with a bureaucracy to try and solve a simple problem, but their existing system or organization would not allow a change? A worldly belief can be found in many commercials, such as Just Do It, or popular songs, such as Love the One You're With. We are to reject worldly beliefs and renew our mind with the truth based on the Bible or biblical principles. Romans 12 verses 1-2 and Corinthians 10:4-5. 2. The flesh refers to any work of the flesh or any behavior that naturally comes from old sinful nature. Galatians 5:19 to 21 lists these as sexual immorality, impurity and debauchery, idolatry and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the NIV. I do not know what an NIV is. Then it says, of course, this is just some examples of sinful reactions or behavior that comes from our old sinful nature. We need to claim by faith that our sinful fleshly desires were nailed to the cross of Christ. Galatians 5:16-18. 2,000 years ago, and ask the Holy Spirit to fill us with the power of the Spirit so we can bear the fruit of the Spirit. Galatians 5:22-23. This simply means we are to put a righteous or godly behavior in place of a fleshly or sinful behavior. Romans 13:11-14 and Ephesians 4:20-32. It takes a lot of work to change one's behavior with the help of the power of the Holy Spirit. 3. The devil refers to Satan and his fallen angels, demons, or evil spirits. The Bible commands to resist the devil, and he will flee from us. James 4:6-7 and 1 Peter 5:6-9. We are to regularly put on the armor of God and use spiritual warfare. Ephesians 6-18. Don't think that I didn't notice the grammatical error of any. Dr. Napasa. So now we are going on the DID disorder. It's funny that Dr. Bailey is actually presenting these disorders in here. And it says the following. Dissociative identity disorder is a severe condition in which two or more distinct identities or personality states alternatively take control of the individual. Brain imaging studies have corroborated identity transitions in many patients. These are not demonic entities, but identities created from trauma or abuse as a child. It is a recognized condition in the American Psychiatric Association Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM-5. Symptoms: depression, mood swings, sleep disorders, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, suicidal tendencies, compulsive behavior, auditory or visual hallucinations, eating disorders, difficulty in relationships, loss of time, trance states, or out-of-body experiences. The treatment for DID is going to a Christian counselor, and each alter is recognized. The issues of each alter are resolved, and allow Jesus as the great physician to heal the pain. Okay, look. My alters, or the voices, they were literally telling me to stop doing everything that I already stopped. And I stopped it, and I'm normal. Literally, in 10 weeks after just disengaging from any type of person that would push the gang stalking narrative and the bad behavior, all of a sudden, I'm back to normal. So, according to Dr. Bailey, gang stalking is a demonic attack. You know, it feels demonic. It really, really does. And now we are on the About section. Do you hear the engine? So now we're going to cover the executive director biography of Dr. Bailey. And it says, Dr. Bailey has graduated from the largest seminary in the world, Southwestern Baptist Seminary, with a Master of Divinity, Luther Rice Seminary with a Doctor of Ministry, and Biblical Life College, and seminary with a PhD in counseling. He was the producer and host of The Christian Counselor and Improving Your Family Life, which was a weekly television program on the ACTS network. He has been on numerous television shows and spoken on the occult, satanic ritual abuse, and prayer in Europe, Canada, and throughout the United States. Dr. Bailey is on the board of directors of several Christian counseling centers in North America that specialize in childhood trauma, demonization, and disassociation. For many years, he was appointed by different governors as chairman of the Task Force on Child Abuse and chairman of the Juvenile Anti-Crime Task Force, and has assisted law enforcement agencies in occult crimes. Wow. He is the author of Spiritual Warfare, Defeating the Forces of Darkness, and has written for the family magazine Home Life. Okay, so this Dr. Bailey has even been on television. I didn't know that. He's like a thing, or was a thing. So I wanted to schedule a session, and let's see what Dr. Bailey wants in order to schedule a session with him. So on contact says schedule a session, and then the text says the following. At the Spiritual Warfare Center, we're committed to helping those with spiritual issues. We cannot help everyone in need, but we will do what we can with the resources that God provides. Please read the following carefully and the list of resources that follows. The Spiritual Warfare Center and Dr. Bailey Preston are not able to respond to personal emails or make calls regarding spiritual warfare questions, requests for diagnostic opinions, or other personal prayer requests. Since so many people want to contact Dr. Preston Bailey, we have to limit contact. Unfortunately, due to the volume and time-intensive nature of the requests we receive, this is not a service Dr. Preston Bailey is able to provide to the public. If you'd like to schedule a session with Dr. Bailey, please fill the form out below. And a consultation with Dr. Bailey costs $75 for 50 minutes. To be honest with you, I would love to contact Dr. Bailey and ask him what his personal opinion is about gang stalking and about the PowerPoint presentation that we just reviewed. So the website is spiritualwarfarecenter.com, and so far everything that he says on this website has been proven true. Now, the next tab on his website is prayers, and there are several prayers. It says prayer of protection, prayer to cleanse home, prayer of manifestation, and prayer of victory. If you are interested on these prayers or on Dr. Bailey, I am gonna put the links to his website in the description below. And isn't this fascinating? Because the whole PowerPoint presentation was about direct energy weapons. However, Dr. Bailey was a public figure who was on television, and someone made that PowerPoint presentation and literally put Dr. Bailey's face on it. To be honest, I do not believe that Dr. Bailey put that information out there. As soon as this channel makes its first $100, I'm gonna schedule an appointment with Dr. Bailey, and I'm gonna record the conversation, and we're gonna make our first interview, because I would love to see what he says. Stay aware that I am not religious, but the whole thing with spiritual warfare, with demons, with the doorways, all of that stuff has so far proven true. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Today, we're gonna do a little investigation. This is the last part of our series of the PowerPoint presentation by Preston T. Bailey, the doctor.